Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name's Dan. You're watching DIY for Life. So back to working on my beautiful Porsche Boxster over here. Got it very well sorted out. But the problem that I noticed actually one of the first times that I drove the car is the air conditioning, heating, cooling vents in the dash are blowing out little bits of foam, which is a very common problem on all German cars of this era, particularly Porsches and Volkswagens, which I think shared some of the same parts. So today we will try to sort that out. It's a fairly straightforward repair. There are some other videos floating around YouTube of showing how it's done, but I figured I'll document it as well, and maybe we'll learn a few things particular to my car and maybe your car as well. So let's get into it. The first thing to do is to drop the top so we can get a little more light in there and see what needs to be done. I'll show you those vents that are spitting out bits of foam. What we're dealing with today is far inside here, so we're going to have to remove this section of the center console so we can get our hands in there and access those blend doors and cover up those holes that have developed, and they're blowing foam through the vents with some aluminum tape. So let me show you the tools that you will need for this job. Okay, I've laid out the tools and items that I think I need for this job. First is some aluminum tape to go over the blend doors, trim removal tools, a cutter knife with some new blades, a head torch, screwdriver with Torx bits, I think they're called a T20, I believe is what I'll need to get the stereo out, good pair of scissors, a tape measure, hopefully I can measure the strips of tape that I will need. And I don't know if I'll need this or not, but I found this the other day in the woods, and I thought I'll probably be able to use that for something. So maybe this will help me get in there somehow. So that's what hopefully is all I need to get this job done and to repair those doors. So let's get in there. Three parts that need to come out, there's two side bits and then the center portion. Lovely how these are color coded. Yellow, matcha green, fuchsia, and then the white one is for the cigarette lighter. Gonna wiggle off one by one. Okay, there you have it. This is the lock button. That's the rear defrost. And this is the button for opening and closing the top. So we got the right one off. Now let's try to get the left side off. There we go. There we go. Yes, clips are intact. You never know about old plastic. And then I just have the one yellow connector on the top. So those are off. Now I believe we have to undo those 6 Torx screws, remove the stereo and the AC controls, which we don't want to disconnect because at some point we actually need to turn on the ignition and get those doors to move. Okay, I think somebody had been in here before. The stereo bracket, I'm not sure exactly how it was supposed to go originally, but it's come off. That's the lower 2 Torx screws that are supposed to go through that piece. I think that will go back around it, but I managed to make a little more space with the wires so I can set this aside carefully leave everything still connected, and I don't think I'm stressing out the wires too much. Just gonna support this on a little piece of foam here. Cut this so we can fold it down and then get inside to the blend door. Yeah, even this blade can cut through that pretty easily. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stick my hands way back there with little pieces of tape and stick them on, which I think is gonna be the hardest part of the job. So far it's been pretty straightforward. Let's keep that out of the way. May or may not hold. Clamp as well. Okay, it looks like we need 18 centimeter strips. 2 of those should do the trick. I'm also gonna try to vacuum back there before I put any tape on anything. See if I can get some of that fuzz out. Okay, we've got the tape all in place, both of those doors sealed off again. We want to reinstall this piece of diverter plastic. So a couple strips of duct tape will keep that flap we cut back in place. I don't think you're going to see that because I didn't put any tape here, and that's what you would see through the vent. So let's carefully tuck all the wires back into the middle of the car and reattach the stereo and put on the vent sides. Just make sure the stereo and the aircon all does what it's supposed to do. I'm gonna have to vacuum again. Left side switch panel on. Clicks back into place. Beautiful. Okay, we put the dashboard back together. I checked the air conditioning and the stereo. Everything seems to be working perfectly. So it's a fairly straightforward job if you're having issues with your heat or air conditioning and the foam coming out of the vents. Now you know how to fix it yourself. So I hope the video is helpful. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.